Tuesday, I brought out the herd hierarchy. It's considered an industry leader. What I say normally goes. America, GMs, coaches, just acknowledge my number one team is number one. This week I had Tampa Bay, a much better defense than, say, Kansas City. And now, as we predicted, the Bucs defense would be great early. The offense about Thanksgiving would be good. And apparently Nick Wright saw this and just, I guess, the only doubter of the herd hierarchy in its history. Go ahead. What's wrong with it?
Well, it made me so mad that I have decided that starting tomorrow, I'm going to release my own tiers of the NFL to counter-program this nonsense. So on First Things First, 8 a.m. tomorrow, new segment, the Nick Wright tiers to go up against the herd hierarchy.
Well, look at that. It's 8 a.m. tomorrow, and we are breaking it out. You broke the news yesterday on The Herd. We got a new segment. We're calling it Nick's NFL Tiers, where we check in each Thursday with you and see where you've got all 32 teams ranked. Take that, Colin Cowherd. All right, Nick, take it away.
And it might be Wednesdays moving forward. It'll either be Wednesdays or Thursdays at 8 a.m., but it'll be every week. It'll be must-watch programming.
Okay.
Because unlike Colin Cowherd, where anyone can do a 1 through 10 power rankings, we're going to give you all 32 teams. So throw it on the screen, and I'm going to ask you to direct your eyes to the bottom of the screen, and we're going to go up. A reverse eye chart.
No.
So the bottom tier all by themselves, the Jets. We don't need to talk about them anymore. They're the Jets. The next tier is just the NFC East. Just that division as a whole, they're the bottom two. That next tier is an interesting one. Looking for a coach or a quarterback. Detroit needs a coach. Denver might need both. The Vikings need a quarterback. Houston needs a coach. The Chargers and the Bengals just drafted their quarterback. The Falcons need a coach. The Jaguars need both. And that next tier is where we start to get to the interesting teams. These are intriguing teams, but they're not real playoff contenders. We're talking the Colts, we're talking the Dolphins, the Rams. Hey, the Rams are 4-2. All 4 of their wins came against that second to last tier, the NFC, so do they even count? San Francisco's too banged up. I have questions about the Cardinals and Panthers being a year away. So now let's zoom in on the 4 tiers that really matter. These are the teams we really care about. Again, from the bottom up. Playoffs, but no ring. Each of those 5 teams there has a fatal flaw. In Tampa, in Cleveland, it's about the fact that their quarterbacks melt when pressured this year. Look at the numbers. In Chicago, it's that we know that Nick Foles, I know he once upon a time did win a Super Bowl, and they can get to the playoffs, but they're not going to threaten anyone. The Raiders are a good story. They cap out at about 9-10 wins, and the Bills got exposed for what they are. Now, these top 3 tiers, these are teams that can win the title. Green Bay, you're worried about their offensive line after what you saw, but we know how good they are. Tennessee, we have to respect what they've done since Mariota took over. New Orleans, little concerned about Drew Brees aging, but I'm going to give them the respect they've earned over the last couple of years. The Patriots are under 500. Why are they there? Because if they make the playoffs, Bill Belichick is such a decided advantage, and Cam will be fully immersed in the offense by then. And then you have the cream of the crop. Seattle, statistically the best offense in football. Defense is terrible. Pittsburgh, I think the most complete team in the NFL so far this year. Baltimore has only lost 3 regular season games the last 2 years, and then there's the champs. So, Brandon, those are your teams that really matter. If we can stay focused on this, I imagine you have no critiques whatsoever because this is obviously a flawless list. But just go ahead.
Stay there. First of all, no, we're not going to stay here. You gave the Jets their own category. That's so disrespectful when you know that I am a Jet guy. Come on, man. That's disrespectful. And then I want to go to your flawed but dangerous thing. We're going to work our way up. Flawed but dangerous. I think you need to also really take the Cardinals and the Rams serious. The Rams are doing something they've never done in a very long time, and that's getting it done on the ground. I think this team can be dangerous if they can get back to running that ball the way they did 2 weeks ago. But then the biggest discussion, Wilds, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Really? What do you, it's not even, I keep saying it. I said it all week. It has nothing to do with the Bucs. It has everything to do with you and Tom Brady. What has happened to you and Tom Brady? Did he not give you an autograph? Did something happen? Why do you not respect the Bucs? The Bucs should probably be right underneath the champs and have their own category as GOAT. Now, I'll give you the champs. I'll give you that, right? That's their throne. They earned it. The other teams have to knock them off. But the Bucs can easily be right there, man.
Go ahead, Wilds.
Nick, you know I'm a Nick Tiers guy. I used to get the herd hierarchy. I subscribed to it. I got it sent to me, and I would collect them. And my father collected them in his ground. We've got stacks of herd hierarchies, and we always have. I used to sit on my grandfather's lap, and he used to read me the herd hierarchy. So we are a herd hierarchy family, but not anymore. I unsubscribed, and I'm a Nick Tiers guy. I don't know if you have it sent in the mail, but I was like, but herd hierarchy had Tampa Bay as #1. So I used to think because they were first in run defense and they're tied for second in the league with 22 sacks and they just made Aaron Rodgers basically into a meme, I felt like they deserve to be higher. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because Colin had them up and you have them down. I wouldn't mind if they moved up, especially if they play the Raiders and they beat the Raiders. It feels like they have to move up. They can't be on the same tier as the Raiders.
Okay, well, it says week 7, entering week 7, so we'll see what happens this week. This will be fluid. This will be movement. There will be movement. Unlike my NBA tiers, which it's very hard to create movement on, there will be week-to-week movement on this. But, Brandon, you had an issue with the Bucs. Let me just say this. They are going to deal with legitimate pass rushes over the course of the season and in the postseason. They have shown no ability to deal with that. So if you know that if you pressure Brady, when they've played pass rushes, they've fallen apart. That's what happened. Yeah.
They have a top 5 offensive line. What are you talking about? They have potentially the best center in football. The right tackle, rookie right tackle is playing lights out. What are you? Yeah, because they were holding calls and they were backing them up 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15.
Man, I don't know.
Let me ask you this question,
Were you
Nick.
listening to that game? Hold on, real quick.
Disagree
before
with
you ask
there.
me a question, can I just follow? Before you ask me the question, wait. Just on the center, it really did feel like Brady gave Troy Aikman a lot of dirt on the center. Because I'm watching that Bucs-Packers game, and every 15 minutes, Aikman's like, and here's another thing about Ryan Jensen. Brady had to change the way he stands in shotgun because he can't snap it right. Here's another thing. He sweats too much, and Tommy doesn't like that. So I think you like Ryan Jensen more than Tom Brady does. But I interrupted you. What was your question? Go ahead.
No. So here's the deal. All right. I got one question. What do they have to do to move up? Just tell me that, because there's everything they've done this far. You have crushed them. You haven't given them the credit. So what do they have to do to earn your respect and move up to the next level?
Okay, how about this? Beat the Raiders, get to 5-2, have Brady
Let me write this
good.
down.
Beat the Raiders and have Brady look good.
Okay.
And they'll move up, and that's all they've got to do to move up one spot.
What does look good? What does look good mean to you when you say Brady look good? Because your standards are out of this world. So listen, beat the Raiders, Brady look good.
Beat the Raiders and Brady look good. Okay, so let's just, it's been a few weeks since he had a game where he both threw for at least 175 yards and didn't forget what down it was. Okay. So let's just check both those boxes.
So can we say 200? Can we say 200?
Let's get through the 225 yards. 225 yards.
225
and you beat
yards.
the Raiders.
Okay.
Beat the Raiders, no pick sixes. Okay?
And you're going to give respect
then you can
to
move
Brady.
up. I've got him going to the playoffs. That's more than I had him before the year. I get no credit for
They beat Green Bay and they made them look like a JV team. They made them look like the JV team that the JV Patriots, Wild's JV Patriots played week in and week out.
I understand, but it can't all be about head-to-head record, or else I wouldn't be the only person in America reminding folks that the Bears beat them and have a better record than them. So we can't just do the transitive property. A, B is greater than B, so B is greater than C. Wilds, it's got to be more than that.
I have my notes. I have my notes.
Keep the notes.
Nick, I, of course, zoomed in on the Cleveland Browns. You ranked them in the tier called playoffs, but no rings. I would have had them a little lower. I think we're starting to figure out why. More headlines for Baker and the boys next. First things first. It's a great tier.